Welcome race fans to Thursday night excitement here at Ohsweken Speedway for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Micro Sprint Racing. Out on the track for the first heat race of the night, it's the beginner division, and Jackson Jeffrey with your starting lineup.
Oh, and it looks like a lot of cars stopped there, but it's time for the starting lineup. 6 laps in heat number 1. Starting first in the 94, it's Georgia Hokert. Starting second in the 76, it's Olivia Hill. Third in the 7, it's Christopher Young. Fourth in the 10M, it's Maverick Chichok. Starting fifth in the 9, it's Casey Walker. Starting sixth in the 96, it's Jolene Hukert. Starting seventh in the 02, it's Cecil Burbridge, Braden Pettit, Diesel Montour, Grayson Lawson, Andy Gray, and Travis Whitaker. And that's the starting lineup as green flag is out for the beginners.
Chichok ran that outside line. Burbridge moves up to third there on the corner number 4.
Georgia Hukert with a good pace there and has a massive gap to Cecil Burbridge there in second place. He's going to make a move past the 10M of Maverick Chichok, and now he'll try to go take the lead.
Burbridge with that 94 machine in his sights, closing that gap slowly but surely, and looks to make a move down the backstretch.
Both cars already passing the first bit of lap traffic of the night. Cecil Burbridge on that outside line is going to try to pass that 94 of Hukert and lead into turn number 1 down the backstretch.
Now looks to make a good gap there over second place in the 94 machine. I believe with 3 laps left to go off of 4.
Diesel Montour, another driver who's super strong in the class, is a lot of cars behind, and he's got to make up a lot of ground and not many laps left as Cecil Burbridge has a blazing speed, and he's going to continue to pass some more lap traffic, taking it to the white flag. 1 more to go for Cecil Burbridge in the 02.
Smooth and steady for the final time around the 02 machine. Sitting in second for this one, Andy Gray and Diesel Montour, the top 3 off of corner number 4. Burbridge picks up the heat race win.
Oh, a bit of contact made there with the 97 of Andy Gray and that 09 of Casey Walker there on that checkered flag. A little bit of a bump and run, a bit more aggressive though. And that'll do it for heat race number 1 with the beginner micro sprints. A lot of beginners. Like, whew.
Good to see more carts coming out for the division, but up next is the box stocks. They didn't have enough to split the field, so we've got one hefty of a lineup.
They're going to have a lot of fun with that one there with the box stocks. Yeah, what a great night for racing, though. Not a cloud in the sky that I can see. Beautiful night, sunny, hot. Perfect night, and definitely going to make it interesting to see on the track with these drivers.
Box stocks on the grid, 8 laps the distance for this one. Starting on the pole in the 28H, that's Hunter Hill, and his outside in the 17Z, that's Zayden Miller. Rolling off third in the 77, that's Declan Salt Johnson, and his outside in the 6T, that's Jasmine Silver-Smith. Rolling off fifth in the 18G, that's Grayson Palace, and his outside in the 71, that's Ryan Wilson. Rolling off seventh in the 7 machine, that's Jack Smulders, and his outside Wyatt Smith in that 13 machine. Rolling off ninth in the 81 machine, that's Lincoln Obadiah, and his outside Silas Podowinski in that 72. Rolling off in that 11th spot, Everett Burbage in the 02. And his outside in the 397, that's Bryson Hill. Rolling off 13th, Randy Hollingshead in the 77H. And rounding out the field, Austin Seaburn in that 24.
Yeah, Austin Seaburn, who won last week, is going to have to catch up a lot of ground there, starting in the back for both heats. So he's going to have a lot of ground to catch up, not only in this heat, but in the second heat if he wants to put it back in victory lane, a repeat of last Thursday.
Ryan Wilson, the point leader in this division, sitting closely in that number 7, Jack Smulders. They're definitely going to be duking it out here tonight.
Oh, yeah. Flying Ryan Wilson, that purple 71. 12-point lead on Jack Smulders in the 7. And then after that, it's 106 points back to third place. So definitely those two stand out from the rest of the crowd.
They're always head-to-head every Thursday night, and it is exciting to watch. But lately, we've been seeing Austin Seaburn getting up in the mix, and I don't know if he'll have enough to make a run for the points with limited numbers of races for the rest of the season. But
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, as got a lot of new competitors and a lot of drivers that can really put it in victory. And then the class is becoming more and more competitive every week, and you just love to see it.
So another thing to talk about, Randy Hollingshead's in.
He's in that 77, the blue 77 that just entered the track there and back. So now Austin Seaburn isn't in dead last. But let's see what the field does here. Green flag is out, and Hunter Hill will lead the pack going into turn number 1.
Hill leads them all down the backstretch, going 3 wide there down the backstretch. Smulders working that inside line.
Yes, Smulders on that inside line. He's going to try to make a move for second place there. Not going to get it. Still in third, as everybody starts to single file out.
That's 77 at Declan Salt Johnson in the lead right now. Grayson Palace and Jack Smulders the top 3. Sitting behind them, Lincoln Obadiah, and Austin Seaburn's already up in the top 5.
Austin Seaburn's been slashing through the field now in 4th place. Let's see if he'll try to make a move in that 81 of Lincoln Obadiah and Declan Salt Johnson there. He's going to go on that outside line, trying to make it, as Grayson Palace will take it to the halfway mark.
They're in corners 3 and 4. Austin Seaburn got a bit of that 77's right rear, and it sent him a little wild, but gathered it back up and passes them there on corner number 4.
Yeah, they're getting rough there for that 4th place position. Seaburn starting to break off, and now he's going to try to work on that 81 of Lincoln Obadiah. Back in front, Grayson Palace is leading, but Jack Smulders is hot on his tail. Won't be long now till we can see a move in that red number 7.
Grayson Palace takes the white flag off of corner number 4. Smulders all over the back end of that 18G. See if we can make something happen down the backstretch.
Austin Seaburn is going to make move on the 81 of Lincoln Obadiah to take the 4th place spot, as Grayson Palace will take him to the checkered flag, and he'll get the heat race win. Jack Smulders in 2nd, Wyatt Smith in 3rd, and Austin Seaburn in 4th. Flying Ryan Wilson comes in 5th, and Lincoln Obadiah in 6th there. Wow.
Smulders gave him everything he had there at the last corner of that, and Grayson Palace held on to it to pick up heat race number 1 for the box stocks.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Class becoming more and more competitive. Got a new driver that can really put it in victory lane every week. So, and you saw it right there. Usually you see Smulders and Wilson battling up front, but now got a whole bunch of new drivers. Powless, Seaburn, a lot of guys. So interesting to see for that that class.
Flat seniors are up next. 8 laps to distance for their heat race. It'll be exciting to watch. We got Lance Erskine. He's going to be stepping down into a flat cart. He'll drive that 24 machine.
Just waiting for everybody to clear it off there, and then we're going to send them out.
So Randy Hollingshead's not going to be running in a flat cart here tonight, but
traded the flat for the box stock, I guess.
starting on the pole for this one in the 78, that's Matt Reed, and his outside. The 44B, that's Isabel Lynn. Rolling off third in the 24 machine, that's Lance Erskine, and his outside in the 15, that's Anthony Verdi. Rolling off fifth in the 4 machine, that's Robbie General, and his outside, Nicholas Boyd in that 12 machine. Rolling off seventh, Cameron Book in the 28. And his outside, Adams DeSilla in the 18. Rolling off ninth, Bailey Sultan at 66 machine. To his outside, Jesse McDonald in the 88. And rounding out the field in the 33, it's the Ron man, Ron McGarry.
Matt Reed going to take him to the green flag, and he's going to lead him into turn number 2 down the backstretch. Oh, and it looks like Lance Erskine gets a little bit loose there off the launch.
Isabel Lynn working that inside line on Matt Reed. They're side by side going into 1.
Isabella Lynn, your new leader here. Top 3 start to single file out there. Next battle is for 4th place with Anthony Verdi. He's going to hold on to that 4th place spot as everybody else starts to single file it here on the track.
Cameron Buck reeling in that 78 machine of Matt Reed. Shoots down to the inside. They're side by side into 1.
Matt Reed and Cameron Book. Cameron Book is going to use that inside line. They go super wide there, and Cameron Book in that blue 28 is going to take that 2nd place position from Matt Reed, take him to the cross flags. Isabel Lynn is starting to create a massive gap in that 44B back to the 28.
Matt Reed's looking for his spot back all over the back end of the 28. Now sitting in 4th, it's Anthony Verdi and Adams DeSilla, the top 5.
Top 5, all single file out. Not a lot of action in that group, but we got a couple other battles going back there. Matt Reed still fighting for that 2nd place spot on Cameron Book, but can't get it as Isabella Lynn will start to hit some lap traffic soon. She'll take him to the white flag one more time around for that 44B.
Matt Reed slowly reeling in that 28 machine, looking to get his spot back, but Isabella Lynn off a corner 4 will take the checkered flag. Heat race 1 goes to Isabella Lynn, Cameron Book, and Matt Reed, the top 5. Anthony Verdi and Jesse McDonald round out the top 5. I believe he said top 5 there twice.
Yeah. It's all good. Interesting race there. Not a lot to talk about though from that top 5. Isabella Lynn, as soon as she got into the lead, she took off and was never seen again. Getting ready right now is the junior flats for their first heat race of the night. 4 karts. It's going to be interesting. A couple good drivers here, so let's see who's going to take the checkered flag tonight.
Don't forget, tomorrow night, we don't have any sprint cars out on the big track, but instead we've got the open late models and the Canadian modifieds at Ohsweken Speedway. Also the Cash Blast 50 for the mini stocks. And, or it is for Thunder stocks, rather.
Yeah, that's a lot of money there. $2,500 for first, $2K for second, $1,500 for third, $750 for fourth, and $500 for 5th place. 55 laps, open draw, and an increased payout by Gales Auto Aftermarket Parts and Club 54 Racing. Going to be super interesting, and I'm excited for these Thunder stocks. Always have a massive group, and you know, it's going to be really fun there. Of course, streamed live on GeForce TV for your entertainment. Anyway, it's time for the Junior Flats starting lineup. 4 karts, 8 laps the distance. Time for heat race number 1. Starting first in the 88, it's Rowan Reed. Starting second in the 25, Ethan Smith. Starting third in the 49, it's Wyatt Smith. And starting 4th in that 29, it's Nolan Kretz. It's time to go heat racing for these Junior Flats. And already Ethan Smith will blast past Rowan Reed to take first place. He'll lead the pack down the front straightaway.
Smith on that inside of his brother, 3 wide down the backstretch. Nolan Kretz with the nose.
Both the 2 fastest drivers in this class immediately are going to shoot by him, and now they're going to battle out for first place. Nolan Kretz, who was a strong competitor last week, will lead him down the backstretch, creating a bit of a gap there on that 49 of Wyatt Smith.
Kretz out front, good gap there. We've got 5 laps left to go.
Everybody single file out. Wyatt Smith trying to get closer and closer, but still can't seem to do it there on that 29 of Nolan Kretz.
Wyatt Smith doing double duty here again tonight in that 13 box stock and, of course, the 49 flat cart, as we usually see him in.
Looked really promising in that box stock there, but let's see if he can try and have some repeat success and maybe win the heat race here for these junior flats.
Trying to reel in Nolan Kretz, who's out in front with the white flag out one more time by.
Nolan Kretz with a big gap there on that 49 of Wyatt Smith. He'll take it down the backstretch for one final time, and Nolan Kretz on the 29 will take heat race number 1 win. Wyatt Smith. Oh.
Wyatt Smith brings it home second, and Ethan Smith in third. Talked over you there a bit, but
that was my bad there.
The open micro sprints are up next for their heat race, 10 laps the distance. It's going to be exciting to watch. Kiana Teal coming off a feature race win last week in the 24K, so you're going to want to keep an eye on her.
Definitely. That one was super interesting to watch, and the for this top cheddar class.
Couple of them rolled out onto the racetrack. A few of them are, they just start up right away. That's got to be a nice luxury.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them you got to push them off. Some of them you got the, got to get the scout behind it and get them out there. But
rolling out 9 micro sprints here. Good class. A lot of competitive drivers. So it's going to be interesting on this beautiful and bright sunny day. And so, you know, the track looks really dry, and actually the track looks pretty rough today. You can see a bunch of drivers bumping around, but still great surface for racing.
Starting on the pole for this one in the 7S, that's Sebastian Palace, and his outside in the 9H is the Hurricane Hayden Anico. Rolling off third in the 13, that's Race McConnell, and his outside in the 16, that's Campbell Baker. Rolling off fifth in the 0J, it's the Iceman Johnny Miller, and his outside in the 24K, that's Kiana Teal. Rolling off seventh in the 96, that's Brennan Hager. Rolling off eighth, Cameron Olm, the 770, and rounding out the field in the 88, that's Riley Mercer.
Hey everybody, getting a little bit close now. I'm going to double up here. I think that one driver you're going to have to watch out for tonight is, I would say, Riley Mercer. Strong driver every week, but not exactly super fast or a super strong competitor to put it in victory lane yet. But you never know what could happen, and that would be my pick to have a strong finish, and definitely a sleeper that shouldn't be sleeping on.
He's starting in the back of this one, but catches the invert for heat race number 2. So I bet you'd be excited about that one. He sits on the pole.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of a rough together there as the white flag comes out for Sebastian Palace. Hopefully we're going to get everything boxed up all nice and tidy for this first heat race here. There we go. Problem solved.
Carter Long with a green flag in hand. Sebastian Palace and Nanacoke on the front row. Heat racing, green flag is out.
Palace shoots out, and he will lead him down the backstretch there. Pylon gets taken out by Brendan Hager there as they all go wild down the front stretch.
Yeah, that brings out the caution flag. We've got debris out onto the racetrack. As you said, Brendan Hager clipped that pylon there.
That start looked like in the old cartoons where it's just a pile of smoke and you see hands and stars flying out everywhere. Didn't know what was happening. Gonna restart it. Complete restart, of course.
Getting the mull line back up here again. I believe it's all straight here, and Carter Long will give them the white flag.
Yep, there we go. Let's try this one more time. Sebastian Palace, once again, will lead him down the back straightaway. Super slow pace here.
And the green flag is back out.
Here we go. Sebastian Palace once again will lead him down into turn number 2. Oh, they get rowdy once again there. Kiana Teal goes super wide.
Palace leads them all into corner number 3. In that 0J, it's the Iceman, Johnny Miller, attacking that 9H.
Johnny Miller in between them. He's going to take that second place spot and is rolling wide. He's really sliding that thing in second place. Cars are bumping all around here. Hayden Nanicoke still holding on to that first place as the first lap comes to a close.
Brennan Hager tried to shoot down to the inside, not able to make anything happen there. Nanicoke out front in strong, but here comes Johnny Miller down to the inside. They're side by side into 3.
Johnny Miller slides through and he'll take that first place position, lead him down, but Brennan Hager's on the bottom and he's going to make a challenge for second place now.
Here comes Hager now, gonna try and reel in that 0J of Johnny Miller. The cross flags are out, that's 5 laps left to go.
Brennan Hager is getting closer and closer to Johnny Miller. Not yet, as Kiana Teal's now going to make a move, and she'll take the third place on that 9H of Hayden Nanicoke.
Hager trying to stick his nose to the inside of the 0J. Can't make much happen of that.
Johnny Miller giving it the full send here down into turn number 1. He's going to continue to hold on to the lead, and he's going to start to create a gap as the top 3 is starting to bridge away from second place from the rest of the field. White flag is out as Brendan Hager's now going to make a move for first place, and he'll take it going down that back straightaway for the final time.
Hager into 3 and 4, holds on to it with the 1 lap left to go. Kiana Teal slips up into second. And Brennan Hager off of corner number 4, holds on to it there. He'll pick up heat race number 1. And second, Kiana Teal. And bringing it home third is Race McConnell. I don't see Johnny Miller out there.
From what I saw, he suffered a mechanical problem or something was wrong with the car down the back stretch for the final time, and he just went super wide, slow down there, and everybody else passed him. And he didn't even make it to the check flag. He drove right off the track after that. So interesting to see what's going on with him tonight as the beginners are getting ready for their second heat race of the night.
It's a tough break for Johnny Miller there. He
ran strong all heat race, and
he was going after, and he looked like he was going to come home with a win there, but
oh yeah,
obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah, he gave it the full send, but you could really see it there when I was talking about the track. It was really rough for some of those drivers there. Back on the track though, heat race number 2, 6 laps for these beginner micro sprints. Pushing off right now, it's time for the starting lineup. Starting first in the 97, it's Andy Gray. Starting second in that 51, it's Grayson Lawson. Starting third in the 14, it's Diesel Montour. Starting fourth in the 9, Braden Pettit. Starting fifth in the 02, Cecil Burbridge. Starting sixth in that 96, Jolene Hookert. Starting seventh in the 09, it's Casey Walker. Starting eighth in the 10M, it's Maverick Chichok. Starting 9th in the 7, it's Christopher Young. Starting 10th in that 76, it's Olivia Hill. Starting 11th in the 94, it's Georgia Hookert. And starting 12th in the 17, it's Travis Whitaker. Getting ready to roll out these beginners.
Carter along with the green flag in hand. All lined up and ready to go. The Cool Kids Ice and Water Beginner Micro Sprint Heat 2 about to get underway.
Green flag is out, and Diesel Montour is going to shoot down to that inside, making a move on that 97 of Andy Gray. He'll take the lead going down the backstretch.
Andy Gray looks to stick the nose to the inside, tries to push him out of the way, not able to make anything happen. Montour leads lap number 1.
Cecil Burbridge wants to join in the fun. He's in third place there. Will now get closer and closer to try to make a move on that 97 of Andy Gray as Diesel Montour will continue to hold on to his lead going down the front stretch.
Burbridge to the outside of Andy Gray. Gray looking to hold him off there in 1 and 2. Burbridge reeling him in slowly but surely.
Yeah, Burbridge is getting closer and closer, and now he's close enough to run on that outside line, trying to make a move on the 97 of Andy Gray. Doesn't get second place yet, but now on the back stretch, he'll try to make a move once again, and he still doesn't have it. Andy Gray's going to hold on to that second spot, playing some tough defense right now. Definitely not giving him an easy chance.
And Montour takes the white flag off of 4. Burbridge looked to make a move to the inside, got a little squirrely there, gathers it back up, and we'll try one more time.
Grayson Lawson went for a little bit of a tumble and spin in the infield there. Gonna restart it with one more to go.
That'll put everybody closer together. Hopefully somebody can put something together because Diesel Montour is smoking them in this heat race. He is very quick in that orange 14 machine.
Yeah, he was really taken away, but I'm surprised that Andy Gray been able to hold his own for this heat race. Really hasn't let Cecil Burbridge at all try to make a move for that second place spot. So it's gonna be interesting when they're put up right behind each other to see who will come out in that second place position.
Be a single final restart.
14.97.
Trying to get everybody up in their proper spots. So the top 3 right now, we got Diesel Montour, Andy Gray, and Burbridge, the top 3 at the moment.
Trying to get everything figured out here for these beginner micro sprints. Like you said, though, great to see that a lot of competitors are here. Class has definitely expanded from the start of the season, so it's great to see, especially on a night like tonight.
The box stocks are the next division up. They've got a hefty field, 8 laps to distance for their heat race.
For 14 micro sprints, 8 laps is not a lot of ground to cover. I mean, if you're at the back there for 8 laps, I don't know. It's going to be rough for Austin Seaburn there if he wants to put it in if he wants to have another successful run with only 8 laps.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a challenge ahead of him, but he got it done in that last heat race, and it is exciting to watch him just slice through the field. Like, it just looks too easy for him.
As the beginners are still trying to figure everything out, they're finally going to stop him this time to try and figure everything out. Going to get everybody nice and stopped here. Anyway, we have a bit of a Karen coming in and complaining with our excellent scores here, of course. No time for yapping though, as we got to get back to the beginners. Finally, looks like we got everything sorted, and now that we have a clear room to talk, we're going to get right back. Sorry for that, everybody.
Green flag is out on the racing surface. Diesel Montour looks to hold up lap traffic there, kind of messed him up. Andy Gray now your new leader.
Diesel Montour and the rest of the field are going to shoot by some lap traffic. White flag is out, and Andy Gray's going to make contact with lap traffic, allowing for Diesel Montour to take the lead one more time around down the back stretch for that orange 14.
Burbridge to the outside of Andy Gray. They're side by side into 3. Diesel Montour picks up heat race number 2 for the beginners. I believe Andy Gray had the nose there, and Burbridge in 3rd.
What an interesting heat race. Definitely an interesting restart there. And Andy Gray made contact with some lap traffic there, allowing for Diesel Montour to sweep the win right from under their feet. So interesting. And of course, Box Stocks and Randy Hollingshead are getting ready to push off here. It's interesting to not see him in a flat card. I'm a little bit confused. My brain isn't clicking properly seeing a 77 in a box stock instead of a flat card.
Yeah, he's usually fun to watch in the flat track karts, and I believe he won last week, did he not? Yes, he did. Yep. So see if we can get her done here in the box stocks.
Yeah, I wonder if we can interview him at intermission to see what the thought process is between putting it in victory lane in the first week and then next week deciding to. Anyway, getting ready to push everything off now.
And out on the racing surface, starting on the pole for this one in the 77H, that's Randy Hollingshead. And his outside, the 397, that's Bryson Hill. Rolling off 3rd in the 02, that's Everett Burbridge. Rolling off fourth, Silas Podowinski in that 72 machine. Rolling off fifth in the 81, that's Lincoln Obadiah. And at his outside in the 13, that's Wyatt Smith. Rolling off seventh in the 7 machine, that's Jack Smulders. And at his outside, Ryan Wilson in that 71 machine. Rolling off ninth in the 18G, that's Grayson Powles. At his outside, Jasmine Silversmith in the 6T. Rolling off 11th rather, Declan Salt Johnson in the 77. And at his outside, Zayden Miller in the 17Z. And row number 7, Hunter Hill and Austin Seaburn.
Green flag is out, and Randy Hollingshead will shoot down into turn number 1. He'll take the lead and will lead the rest of that field in that white box stock.
Hollingshead,
I believe that's, I can see the first two there. Wyatt Smith, Lincoln Obadiah, and I don't know if that's, it's not Jack Smulders. That is, can you see it there?
Grayson Powles. I can see the Powles up on the top part of that wing.
Yeah, it looked like Wyatt Smith and Lincoln Obadiah all got into some contact there, and looks like Grayson Powles just got collected. I didn't exactly see it fully, but interesting. Bit of contact to start off this heat race. It's interesting. And oh, wow, look at Austin Seaburn already up there in 6th place. What? Oh, he's been on fire tonight and is constantly cutting up the field.
For Austin Seaburn to already be up there in the top 6, that is just insane. The way he's been racing lately, like, you're not going to be surprised if he's won the feature tonight.
Oh yeah, he's definitely someone who's gonna be interesting. He's been giving it his all recently, especially winning last week. I mean, I said that 8 laps was gonna be not a lot of distance for somebody to cover, but for Austin Seaburn, I guess it's just another Thursday night.
Randy Hollingshead, though, very fast kart here tonight. He's been flying in that 77T. And behind him, we've got Burbridge, Smulders, Wilson, Podowinski. They are all tough ones to hold off.
Yeah, you got an elite batting lineup there right behind him, and I'm surprised he's been able to hold him off driving a box stock.
Is there a hole in his wing?
I don't know if that's a hole or if that's
aerodynamics.
Sure. Well, whatever it is, it seems to be working for him. Green flag is out for Randy Hollingshead, and he'll take him down into turn number 1. It is a hole in the wing.
Burbridge to the outside of that 77T. Hollingshead holds him off. Smolder shoots down to the inside.
Hollingshead playing some tough defense here. So now Everett Burbridge is going to make a move. He'll keep that 2nd place position. Top 4 is starting to create a bit of a gap going down the back straightaway. They're all single file out, and now Jack Smulders in that 7 is going to try to make a move for that 2nd place. He gets it done.
Wilson following that 7 machine, looks to make a move to the inside. Smulders holds him off down the backstretch.
Smulders is going to try to work now on that 77 or Randy Hollingshead. Austin Seaburn wants to join in the fun, and he'll try to make a move for that 3rd place on Ryan Wilson. He gets it done now.
Smulders down to the inside. Hollingshead blocks them there on the backstretch. Gets a little bumpy there for the 7 machine of Smulders, but gathers it back up.
They're getting rough there and aggressive fighting for that 3rd place position. Austin Seaburn has got a lot of space, and he'll run on that outside line trying to overtake Jack Smulders in that 7 there. Doesn't get it done yet. He's going to try it again going down the backstretch. He's super wide and has got some speed. Let's see what happens here.
One more lap to go for Randy Hollingshead all over the back end of that 7 machine. It's Austin Seaburn. Wow, like this is exciting to watch. Randy Hollingshead will come off of 4 to the checkered flag. I don't know who came in 2nd. That was close.
I think it was Austin Seaburn there riding on that high side. He was getting rough with Jack Smulders there for that 2nd place position, and it looks like he got it done, and he'll take 2nd place in heat race number 2. But wow, Randy Hollingshead coming in with a box stock straight out of a flag kart, and he wins a heat race. How can you not be excited about that?
That was phenomenal to watch. I was excited for that one.
Of course, senior flats getting ready to roll off now.
out on the grid. They're getting ready to roll onto the racetrack. Starting on the pole for this one in the 33, it's the Ron McGarry into his outside. The 88, that's Jesse McDonald. Rolling off third in the 66, that's Bailey Salt into her outside. In the 18, that's Adams DeSilla. Rolling off fifth in the 28, that's Cameron Book. And his outside, Nicholas Boyd in the 12 machine. Rolling off seventh in the 4 car, that is Robbie General. And his outside, Anthony Verdi in the 15. Rolling off ninth in the 24, that's Lance Erskine. And his outside, Isabel Lynn in the 44B. And rounding out the field in the 78, that's Matt Reed.
Ron McGarry in that 33 Skull Machine. Old school looking paint job. Super nice. So let's see what he can do. Pacing around the back stretch. Anticipate. Green flag is out for the senior flats, and they're side by side, all bunched up together, going down into turn number 1.
McDonald leads them all down the backstretch. Cecilia moves his way up to second. Cameron Book sitting in third.
Book is getting closer and closer to that back of Stacilla there. He's going to try and shoot down the inside. Doesn't work. Stacilla closes the door. Everybody starts to single file out there.
Book closing the gap between that 18 machine, but behind Book we've got Bailey Salt in the 66, and McGarry goes around there 1 and 2.
Yellow flags out for in the infield there. Gonna wait to rejoin the rest of the field there at the back. Jesse McDonald there. Gonna continue to hold on to his lead there. I'm surprised that he held on to the lead for super long, but he's got Cameron Book and Cecilia in the back there, and of course still waiting to see if Lance Erskine can show a flash of speed here to try and make a move for that first place position, yet kind of pretty far back there in 6th.
One more time around and we'll get the green flag back out on the racing surface.
Just saw the replay there of Ron McGarry. Doesn't look like anybody made contact with him, but just went for a little bit of a spin. Single file coming around one more time for your leader, Jesse McDonald there in that 88. And green flag is out. It's time to go racing for the rest of this heat race. 6 laps to go. And now Adams DeSilla will try to make a move in that 18 on Jesse McDonald.
DeSilla all over the back end of the 88. And behind him, we've got Cameron Book, who's also a big heavy hitter in this class. And the cross flags are out.
Book hasn't been able to make a move yet for that lead. Of course, Jesse McDonald still holding out to that first place as Adams DeSilla will once again try to make a move in second place. Doesn't get it. Continuing to go around. He's going to start to create a big gap there in that 88 on the 18 of Stacilla.
2 laps left to go for Jesse McDonald. And down to the inside of that 66, it's Lance Erskine in the 24 machine making moves up to the front.
Top 2 starting to single file out. Then the nearest leading the pack there is Cameron Book in that 28. White flag is out. One more time around for Jesse McDonald. Coming to the checkered flag, and he'll take heat race number 2 victory. Stacilla in second, and I believe that was Book in third.
That'll conclude the heat racing for the flat seniors. Lance Erskine made some moves. He finished, I believe, 5th in that one. Or I believe 5th. Which, bit of a comeback considering last heat race he didn't have too well of a start.
But not a lot of speed out of you'd expect from a sprint driver, or a sprint winner, I should say, at Ohsweken Speedway here. But of course, the Little O has its own challenges that are separate from the Big O. So Junior Flats getting ready to roll out now, and it's time for the starting lineup for heat race number 2, 8 laps. Starting first in the 29, it's Nolan Kretz. Starting second in the 49, it's Wyatt Smith. Starting third in the 25, it's Ethan Smith. And starting fourth in the 88, it's Rowan Reed. White flag in Carter Long's hand. One more time around for these Fast 4 Junior Flats. Of course, going to be interesting to see Nolan Kretz and Wyatt Smith duke it out for 8 laps.
4 horsemen.
Yeah. Green flag is out as Nolan Kretz in that 29 will lead him down into turn number 1, but Wyatt Smith is close on his tail. He's going to try to make a move, doesn't get it, as Nolan Kretz will continue to hold in that lead, coming through to complete lap number 1.
Smith looking to close the gap there on Nolan Kretz. Slowly but surely, I'm sure he'll get it done. He's been very dominant this season at the Little O.
Yeah, Wyatt Smith hasn't been able to replicate some of that speed that he's had. Although he did win last week, he hasn't been as fast as he usually is, not on his A game. But Nolan Kretz has kind of stepped up and is now challenging him. So we got a real bit of a battle here for that first place going on, though, on track. Wyatt Smith can't quite catch up to that 29 on Nolan Kretz, as they're going to start to hit some lap traffic pretty soon. Laps keep winding down, as Wyatt Smith still can't make a move. Nolan Kretz is going to continue to widen a bit of that gap as they're going to hit some lap traffic now. It's 2 to go.
Rowan Reed giving a little bit of trouble to Nolan Kretz there, but he'll come off of corner 4 to the white flag.
One more time around for Nolan Kretz on that 29. He's got a massive lead over the 49 of Wyatt Smith. Single file out on the track, and he'll take heat race number 2 win.
Coming in second place, that's the 49 of Wyatt Smith. And rounding out the top 3, Ethan Smith in the 25 machine. Up next is the open micro sprints for their 10-lap heat race. And then after that, we're done heat racing.
Yeah, one more race out of the top cheddar, and then we're going to get into some intermission interviews, of course. We've decided to divvy up some of the interviews, so we'll interview 2 at intermission, and then we'll interview 2 at the end of all the features tonight. So, interesting. Interview some heat race winners to see what they're going to have to do for the feature, and then we'll talk to some feature race winners to see what they did to win those features. So, interesting to see, and I'm definitely excited for it.
It will definitely be an exciting night to watch, so if you're thinking of leaving, I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, definitely stick around, because it's always interesting to get some interviews in, especially for some of these really young drivers here, to see what they did to put it in victory lane and look inside their minds on what they had to do to prepare for these races. Hey everybody, still putting around under the yellow flag. We're going to get everything organized. Yellow flag still out, as it looks like we got a bit more organization as they come around for another lap under yellow here.
Well, starting on the pole for this one in the 88, that's Riley Mercer, and to his outside in the 770, that's Cameron Ohm. Rolling off third in the 96, that's Brendan Hager, and to his outside the 24K, that's Kiana Teal. Rolling off fifth in the 0J, it's the Iceman Johnny Miller, and to his outside in the 16, that's Campbell Baker. Rolling off 7th in the 13 machine, that's Race McConnell, and to his outside, the 9H, it's the Hurricane Hayden Anico. And rounding out the field in the 7S, that's Sebastian Paulus.
White flag is out one more time for my sleeper pick, Riley Mercer, to see what he can do.
I would also keep an eye on that 24K of Kiana Teal. Obviously picking up last week's feature race, and she has been fast lately.
Yeah.
Especially after coming back after that flip she had a couple weeks back.
Yeah, she has a lot of speed there in that 24, especially when she likes to ride on that outside line here. Green flag is out, and Riley Mercer blasts out on the inside, and he'll start to create a little bit of separation on the rest of the field.
Mercer leads lap number 1 here in the open micro sprints. Kiana Teal moves her way up to third.
Cameron Ohm in second there. He is trying to get close to that 88 of Riley Mercer. Still doesn't have it yet. Back there, Brendan Hagar and Johnny Miller are fighting for that 4th place position. Hagar still holding on, but Johnny Miller isn't going to be long now before he might try to make a move.
Ohm trying to reel in that 88 of Riley Mercer. Sitting in third, Kiana Teal with Hagar hot on her tail.
Yeah, Mercer's ripping that outside line, giving it the full send. Still seems to be working really good for him, but Cameron Ohm's getting closer and closer every lap. Maybe I spoke wrong going down the back stretch now.
Cameron Ohm all over the back end of Riley Mercer, shoots down to the inside. Mercer still with the nose.
Mercer's got it locked down into turn number 1, but Cameron Ohm is close and gets closer every time he goes super wide there on second. Mercer's starting to create a little bit of separation now. He saved himself there, but let's see what happens as this race keeps winding down here. Everybody else single file up, but Keanu Teal will now try to make some moves for third place on that 96 of Brendan Hagar.
2 laps left to go for Riley Mercer out in front. Cameron Olma in second. In third, Brendan Hager.
White flag is out one more time around for Riley Mercer in that 88. Cameron Ohm still holding onto that spot now. And Brendan Hager will hold on to third. Riley Mercer will win heat race number 2 for the Open Micro Sprints.
Coming home in second, that is Cameron Ohm, and rounding at the top 3, Brennan Hager. So that will conclude heat racing for the night, and we'll be back with a couple of interviews.
We tried it and just step out of the flat cart for a night and just try it and see if we can get it going. You know, just we worked on it a little bit and tried to get the handling down, and looks like they're working on the track to get it a little bit smoother because 3 and 4 is pretty bouncy. But other than that, we're having fun.
Yeah, you seem to be pretty successful in winning that heat race there, number 2. So what do you look forward to for the feature, and what do you think you'll have to do to put it in victory lane tonight?
Probably a good starting spot. I don't know where we're going to start. If we start mid-back or towards the front, just try to keep the nose clean and try to go forward.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for joining us, and good luck in your feature tonight.
All right, thanks.
All right. That'll do it for feature or heat race number 2 winner, Randy Hollingshead, and we'll be back in a second here with McLean for his interview for halftime.
Here with Lance Erskine in the flat senior 24 machine. Also a great sprint driver in the 88. Does anything transfer between these two different machines?
I just got to learn to calm down a little bit to run the go-karts. Running the sprint cars, you got to run them so aggressive, and now I'm a bit of a hammerhead in the flat cart, so I think if we calm down, we'll be all right.
And didn't do too great in the first heat, but made a little bit of a comeback. Are you going to look to carry the momentum into the feature race?
Yeah, I think we ran 4th or 5th in the second heat there, so we're just working the bugs out. I haven't had my cart out at all this year, and I've only run a flat cart. This is my second night in a flat cart, so just working the bugs out of it, but I think we got the setup a little closer to where we want it, so we'll be ready for the feature.
Awesome. That was Lance Erskine of the 24 flat senior cart, and that will do with interviews for now. We'll have a couple after the feature racing here tonight, but thank you all for tuning in.
I thought I killed it, bud.
Back from intermission here for some beginners, feature racing rather. They're out on the grid getting all fired up.
Yeah, so just before we get into this first beginner feature of the night, we had some interesting interviews. A lot of drivers gave us some looks, and a couple of other drivers were talking to us about the track conditions which changed. They brought out a steamroller. I don't know if you exactly saw it on the camera there, but they brought out a steamroller to flatten everything out, so everything's a lot more smoother, and a couple drivers are definitely not particularly pleased, you could say, about the loss of grip, but it definitely makes it a lot smoother and probably safer, I could say, but interesting.
Don't forget, tomorrow night we've got the Canadian Modifieds Open Late Models Cash Blast 54, the Thunder stocks, and also mini stocks on the card.
Late Model Open plus UMP and Canadian Modified Challenge.
You're definitely going to want to attend that race. Thunder stocks are always exciting to watch.
Yep. Cash Blast. We talked about that earlier. A lot of money there to win. So going to be interesting to see an already aggressive class. A lot of heavy hitters that are going to be duking it out, and definitely going to be exciting. If it's anything, if these Thunderstock races are going to be anything like they were last week, you know, it's going to be action-packed and going to be an interesting finish here. Of course.
I'm excited for some late models. I love me some
definitely.
late models.
Last week, the UMPs, I was on the edge of my seat while I was standing, but I was on the edge of my toes. Laying there watching them blast around there. So I'm excited to see them come back. So it's going to be interesting. And yeah, beginners still getting ready to push off there. We can see them. Great 12 car field here. So, and rolling out on the field, it's time to go feature racing here. The beginners will start us off 12 laps for the beginner micro sprints. It's time for the starting lineup. Starting first in the 14, it's Diesel Montour. Starting second in the 02, it's Cecil Burbridge. Starting third in the 97, it's Andy Gray. And starting fourth on the outside, it's Braden Pettit. Starting fifth on the inside, it's the 10 of Maverick Cheechak. And starting sixth, it's the 94 of Georgia Hookert. Starting seventh on the inside, it's the 09 of Casey Walker. And starting eighth in the 96, it's Jolene Hookert. Starting 9th in that 7, it's Christopher Young. And starting 10th in the 51, it's Grayson Lawson. Starting 11th in that 76, it's Olivia Hill on the inside. And starting 12th on the outside, it's the 17 of Travis Whitaker.
The 10M of Maverick Cheechak stopped on the bottom of 4. Looking to figure out what that is. Believe we just had a problem starting there. Carter Long getting him fired back up.
And now it looks like the 09 of Casey Walker has now stopped. So 2 cars already stopped from the start, but getting everything figured out. One thing that I will say that I want everybody who's watching to look out for is watch Andy Gray's defense. I mean, in the heat races, Andy Gray was really playing some tough defense there and didn't really let anyone pass him. So I want to have everybody take a look and see what Andy Gray is going to do in the feature here.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Of course, beginners still trying to get everything figured out with them. Trying to get Casey Walker fired off here and rejoin this pack, which was so evenly grouped together. Casey Walker's got everything ready to go, and Carter Long rushes to get the green flag in hand to start the feature race. It's time to go feature racing as Diesel Montour will start us off leading into turn number 1.
Here goes Burbridge to the outside, 3 wide down the backstretch. Andy Gray looks like he has the nose out. Bit of a rocky ride for the 14 there.
Yeah, Diesel Montour got really rough, and now Andy Gray is going to lose first place to the 02 of Cecil Burbridge. Looks like the defense isn't doing too much for him now, as Cecil Burbridge is your new race leader going into turn number 4 down the back and front stretch.
Burbridge out in front now. Andy Gray sitting in that second spot, and a battle for third there between Diesel Montour and Braden Pettit.
Andy Gray's got some decently matched speed as they're going to split the lap traffic, and Andy Gray in that 97 is your new leader. It's time to see if Andy Gray can hold off the rest of the heavy hitters there. Yellow flag is out for, I believe that is the 09 of Casey Walker. Goes for a bit of a spin and is stopped again.
That'll bring out the yellow flag, get him racked back up. We've got 9 laps left to go.
Looks like the sun is starting to go down here in the heat, and definitely interesting to see how the now smoothed out track is working for these beginner drivers. Said we wouldn't see a lot of action, but I think we've seen a lot more action in this beginner class, but of course it is different for the speed comparisons between these and of course the opens, who have definitely got some power in those engines.
Single final restart for these beginner micro sprints.
94, you're behind the 9.
Jeff Smith working to get them all lined back up, but your leader right now, the 97 of Andy Gray, has been doing phenomenal tonight. We've got Burbridge in second, who's always a great racer, and Diesel Montour, we don't have to say much about him. He's fast every week, and this will definitely be an interesting one to watch, to see how this one plays out, especially with a new racing surface too. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. You know, it's a big change to go from super rough track going into intermission to now everything's pure and smooth and ready to roll. So, and yeah, not much else to say about the new racing surface other than they really gave it their all. That steamroller was really just any single bump and groove has just been flattened out. So great job by the racing crew and the track team to get everything prepped up for these feature races. Got a perfect and nice slick racing surface. And now we'll see if Andy Gray, who you usually wouldn't pick to be a strong competitor in this beginner class, but now has really taken a shift today and is a super strong competitor. And like I said earlier, my pick to win tonight with that strong defense.
One more time around for these beginner micro sprints. And the green flag will be back out, and we'll get back to racing here. 9 laps left on the board. And I wouldn't leave this one. This one's going to be exciting to watch.
Oh yeah, we still got a lot of ground to cover. Green flag is out here for that 97 of Andy Gray, and looks like Cecil Burbridge will try to make a move for first place. Doesn't get it, as they are all three bunched together going down the back straightaway.
Here goes Burbridge to the outside of Andy Gray. They're rubber to rubber down the front stretch.
Cecil Burbridge shoots down to that outside line, and he'll now take the lead going down the back stretch. Andy Gray falls back to second as, Andy Gray slams into that, I believe that is the 96 of Jolene Hookert there.
That was a hard hit. Like that.
Yeah, that was rough. Just didn't look like there was enough room there for the 97 Andy Gray. He went down to the inside, and I guess that lane closed, and he just went right into that side of the 96 there. Some lap traffic contact. Here's a replay here. Yeah, he looked like the lane was closed and just bang, hit him again there. So
it almost looked like Burbridge realized that he moved up, and just really wasn't much time for Gray to do anything.
Yeah, couldn't really react on time, and so just kind of happened. So of course, gonna get Travis Whitaker in that 17 stopped, and now Andy Gray is moved out of the way.
Seems as if everybody's all right, though. So that is obviously the most important part. But
yeah,
Andy Gray's got to start at the back now.
Yeah, here's a replay again, and just look at the hit there! Wow. Yeah, that was rough. So of course Andy Gray, like you said, being sent to the back now. Of course. Back up at the front, though, everything seems to be kind of bunched out and together. So it looks like we're just about ready to get back to racing.
Carter Long runs up the track to grab the white flag one more time by. And we'll go green flag racing.
Yep. Cecil Burbridge is going to lead him to the green flag. Of course, Diesel Montour, a super fast-paced driver in that orange 14, going to be right on his tail to try and take first place. It's going to be an green flag racing here at the Little O.
Diesel Montour working that inside line on Ever Burbridge. I believe that's Cecil Burbridge rather, but
yeah, that's Cecil Burbridge. Cecil Burbridge is going to hold on to that lead there. They're going to split the lap traffic. Diesel Montour in second, but now Braden Pettit wants to join in on the fun, and he'll try and make some moves to take that second place away from Diesel Montour.
looking to close the gap there on the 14. Diesel Montour splits for the lap traffic, and Burbridge out in front.
Yeah, nobody can catch up to Burbridge here. He's got a big gap at Hills past the 09 of Casey Walker. There's some lap traffic. Diesel Montour a little bit behind, but Braden Pettit's getting closer and closer every time around. Soon enough, he'll be able to make a move for that 14, and we'll have a battle for second place.
Montour and Pettit making it past lap traffic. Looked easily done for them. Pettit looking to close the gap on the 14 of Diesel Montour.
Everybody single filed out. Not a lot of action going on there, but we have some fast drivers passing through some lap traffic, of course, counting down the laps, and now it looks like Diesel Montour is going to have a real battle now for second place as Braden Pettit's really close by him there going down the backstretch.
Here goes Pettit to the outside of Montour. Montour is still out in front. Pettit makes a charge into one.
Cecil Burbridge will continue to pass the lap traffic as now Braden Pettit and Diesel Montour. Cecil Burbridge will take the feature race win tonight for the beginners. Looks like Braden Pettit took the win there in second place and Diesel Montour is in third. Whew.
And that will conclude the beginners feature race. That was fun to watch. Cecil Burbridge brings it home, and he'll pull it out on the front stretch to victory lane, and grab a photo there. And
Carter is going to get the trusty cell phone out, give him the checkered flag there, and go take some pictures.
we talk about Wyatt Smith doing double duty every week, but we don't talk much about Carter Long doing double duty every week. He's gotta be a flagman, but then on top of that, he's got to be a photographer. So
yeah,
we got to thank him for that one.
Yeah, definitely. You know, don't know who could be taking the pictures. Don't really have photographers out here. That's where you got to come in. You got to rush out there after the victory lane. You got to go take some photos.
See, I got to announce though. So.
Yeah.
But the box stocks are up next for their feature race. 15 laps the distance, good 14 car field here. And they are ready to get it on.
Oh yeah, got a massive field of great drivers here for this feature race. Going to be super interesting.
Starting on the pole for this one in the 7, that's Jack Smulders, and his outside. In the 18G, that's Grayson Palace. Rolling on third in the 24, that's Austin Seaburn, and his outside Ryan Wilson in the 71 machine. Rolling off fifth rather in the 77H, that's Randy Hollingshead, and his outside Wyatt Smith in the 13 machine. Rolling off seventh in the 81, that's Lincoln Obadiah, and his outside it's Silas Podowinski. Rolling off ninth, Declan Salt Johnson, and his outside Everett Burbridge. Rolling off in that 11th spot, it's Hunter Hill, and his outside Zane Miller, Bryson Hill, and Jasmine Silversmith round out the field.
Jack Smulders will lead him to the green flag. He feature race number 1 for these box stocks here, and all top 4 single file out. Jack Smulders holding on that lead, but Austin Seaburn, who's been flying all day, isn't too far back in second.
Seaburn reeling in that 7 machine. Jack Smulders into corner number 3. He'll shoot to the outside.
They are battling for that first place now. Austin Seaburn is getting close, and it's not going to be long now till they're side by side. Here he comes on that outside line. Doesn't have it yet. Smulders still holding on to first place. We got an intense battle for first going down the backstretch.
Austin Seaburn to the outside of Jack Smulders, working the outside line there down the front stretch. Smulders is playing really good defense here and holding off that 24 of Austin Seaburn.
Yeah, yellow flags out there for, I believe, the 13 of Wyatt Smith. He makes contact with the pylon, and Goes for a little bit of a move down to the inside, of course. Get everything situated here, and he's going to rejoin the field now.
That'll bunch everybody back up and maybe give somebody else a chance. We've seen Jack Smolders and Austin Seaburn duking it out here in the beginning parts of this feature race. But behind it, we've got Grayson Palace, who picked up a heat race win, and Ryan Wilson, who leads this class in points.
Don't also forget about Randy Hollingshead there in that 77. He won that heat race there, and we talked to him. So interesting for him, and let's see who's going to come out on top here. But one thing I got to say, we need a salute for all the pylons. They go through a lot of trouble every week getting hit and clobbered up. So good to see that they're still standing strong.
Yeah, Trevor DeBoer don't like it when you hit him, so.
Pylon farmers, but anyway, trying to get everything figured out here. Jack Smolders, like you said, still in the lead. Yeah, there's got a mountain load of strong and fast drivers right behind him. There's definitely going to make a challenge for that first place spot. I think I'm pretty sure every single driver from first all the way to the back there could make a challenge for first place and even win on a good night.
11 laps to go in this feature race. Single file restart for them. And we should be giving them the white flag here soon. I believe they're trying to get everybody properly lined up, though.
Yep, still trying to get, I believe that is Wyatt Smith, trying to get him in the right position there. He's going to be told, and still don't think he's got in his spot yet. Still pacing around here. Bet Jack Smolders is definitely angry and just wants to go back racing there. The anticipation's got to be killing him right now. So, still trying to get everybody in position. Taking a little bit longer than usual, but of course, just leaves us time to talk. So, not really much else you could say. Just trying to get him to hustle back into the spot there. So, there we go. Time to tell him to speed up, and he's still not yet in the spot, but almost there.
He'll fall in behind Ryan Wilson in the 71 machine. That puts Hollingshead back a spot. But
yeah,
there's the white flag for Jack Smolders. One more time around and we'll go green flag racing.
Just about time here, single file. Now it looks like Randy Hollingshead definitely doesn't seem too happy about the fact that Wyatt Smith just went right into his spot. But green flag is out, and Jack Smolders will shoot down to the inside. Austin Seaburn's hot on his tail. Let's see what he'll do on the restart.
Here goes Austin Seaburn, shoots down to the inside. They're side by side out of 4.
Make a little bit of contact there, but Austin Seaburn, your new race leader, running that inside line. He'll finally clear him, but Jack Smolders will shoot down to that inside there, side by side, going into turn number 3 and 4.
Smolders working that inside line. Austin Seaburn gets out in front. He'll lead them all down the backstretch. Battle for third there between Ryan Wilson, Grayson Palace, and Wyatt Smith.
Grayson Palace gets a little bit uncontrolled, but continues to keep it together. Ryan Wilson will take third place, and now he's going to try to work on the second place in points. Jack Smolders there.
Austin Seaburn with a good gap there over Jack Smolders. And in behind Jack Smolders, we've got Ryan Wilson, the point leader here. And Wyatt Smith working on that 18G, who's sitting in 5th.
Austin Seaburn's going to hit the first bit of lap traffic in this race, and he'll clear him with perfection. Jack Smolders is going to hit the lap traffic there soon. Single file from first on to about 4th place there, I believe, where we got Wyatt Smith and Grayson Palace are duking it out for some spots.
Randy Hollingshead getting in the mix there, trying to track down that 13 machine of Wyatt Smith. But Austin Seaburn slicing through some lap traffic there.
Ryan Wilson and Grayson Palace, and now Wyatt Smith will pass the lap traffic, and now Wyatt Smith will try to work on that 18G of Grayson Palace. Doesn't have it yet, but they're getting closer and closer every lap.
Austin Seaburn got some thick lap traffic ahead of him. Jack Smolders and Ryan Wilson, the top 3 with 2 laps left to go.
keeps cutting through the lap traffic there. Jack Smolders in second, got a massive gap there. Ryan Wilson in third, and now they're side by side going down the backstretch. It's Wyatt Smith and Grayson Palace as the white flags out one more time around for Austin Seaburn.
Seaburn down the backstretch for the final time into corners number 3 and 4. The checkered flag goes to Austin Seaburn in the 24 box stock. Sitting in second, Jack Smolders and Ryan Wilson, the top 3 in the Cool Kids Ice and Water micro sprints.
They all go for a tumble there right on the checkered flag as Wyatt Smith gets a little bit loose there. Spins out, and definitely a lot of drivers lost a bunch of spots there. Can't be too happy about that. Trying to swerve out of the way to avoid him.
Seaburn will pull it into victory lane. That's no surprise there. He just been very dominant and fast all night, and it shows when he picks up another feature race win.
Oh yeah, gonna be interesting, and I'm super excited to see what he'll have planned for next week. Of course, he'll win back-to-back weeks here at the Little O, and then of course Senior Flats getting ready to roll out here. Got another stacked lineup, so interesting to see what'll happen up next.
I want to see what Lance Erskine can do in this one. He said he knows he can't be hammer down on the throttle on the karts, and see if he can come up with something in this feature race. He's got 20 laps to do so, so that is plenty of time for these flat karts.
Oh yeah, definitely got a lot of time to try and make up some ground there, starting at the back. Of course, going to be a super interesting race here as the sun goes down, and of course, new surface for these flat karts. Probably, I would say one of the most, or I'm not sure. Would you say that these karts would be the most or the least affected by changes in the track?
Yeah, it's hard to say, really. I don't race them, but slick really ain't. You can't hammer down on a slick track. They are
That's true.
harder to gather back up. But starting on the pole for this one in the 28, that's Cameron Book, and his outside. The 44B, that's Isabel Lynn. Rolling off third. In the 18, that's Adam Sticilla. Rolling off fourth. In the 15, that's Anthony Verdi. And rolling off fifth, Matt Reed in that 7-8 machine to his outside. In the 33, that's the Ron man, Ron McGarry. And rolling off in that 7th spot, Bailey Salt in the 66 machine. And her outside in the 88, that's Jesse McDonald. Rolling off 9th in the 12 machine, that's Nicholas Boyd. And his outside in the 4 car, that's Robbie General. And rounding out the field in the 24, that's Lance Erskine.
It's time for the flat kart feature race as Cameron Book will shoot down to the inside. He'll lead him going down the backstretch, but Sticilla is close on his tail.
Sticilla battling there with the 44B of Isabel Lynn, trying to track down that 28 of Cameron Book.
They all single file out there and immediately start to create a massive gap there. Sticilla gets into the back of Cameron Book. They make contact, but Cameron Book still holds on to the lead. He'll lead them as they're too wide going down the back straightaway now.
Here goes Isabel Lynn down to the inside of Cameron Book. They're side by side going down the front stretch.
Isabella Lynn will clear Cameron Book, but Cameron Book is now going on the inside. They make a little bit of contact, but now Anthony Verdi and Sticilla want to join in on the fun. They're all bunched up together as the laps keep winding down, and that battle for the top 4.
Isabel Lynn now out in front, Cameron Book, and behind him, they're going 3 wide there for third. Between Adam Sticilla, Matt Reed, and Anthony Verdi all duking it out.
Yeah, Cameron Book trying to get closer and closer, still can't get on Isabella Lynn. He definitely wants to reclaim that first place position. Top 3, top 4 now, single files out. Back to Bailey Salt and Matt Reed battling for 5th place there. Going into turn number 4 and down the front stretch now. Matt Reed is going super wide.
Single file racing, here goes Bailey Salt down to the inside of Verdi. Switches up the racetrack, they're side by side going down the front stretch.
Bailey Salt and Verdi there. And now Matt Reed's going to try to join in. He doesn't get it. Verdi holding on to that 4th place position, but Bailey Salt's going to shoot down to the inside. And now he'll take 4th place.
Cameron Book shoots down to the inside of Isabella Lynn. Not able to make much happen with that with 10 laps left to go. Still got a lot of time left though to catch that 44B.
Cameron Book is getting closer. He makes a bunch of contact, and now he gets into the back of Isabella Lynn, goes up there a bit, and he'll lose a spot down to Adam Stasilla there.
Stasilla moves up to second, and that gives a little bit of time for Lynn to make a gap between her and second, but she's just gone with this one.
Yeah, it looks like we had a car on the inside now. Believe yellow flag is out there for, I'm not sure who that is. I believe that is Jesse McDonald. So I just couldn't see the number there.
I can't really see who it is.
A lot of smoke coming out from the back of that car. Finally gets it fired back up, and he'll rejoin the pack now. 8 laps to go, so just over halfway now. And of course, this restart's going to be good for Stasilla and Book to try and fight it out for a spot.
8 laps to go for this one. We've got 2 divisions after this, the flat juniors and of course the opens. And I believe interviews.
And it's time for our victory lane, or I guess I should say right off victory lane interviews.
44 is behind the
So, who do you think would be a dangerous driver to be behind you? If you were Isabella Lynn right now, who would you be the most worried about? Stasilla or Book?
Honestly, like Book
Yeah.
just is very heavy hitter. I believe he's a point leader too in this class, so.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely Book. I mean, both drivers are good, and now it looks like Isabella Lynn gets sent back a spot, I believe. So now Adam Stasilla is your new leader as the white flag's out one more time around.
I believe the 44B got a penalty there for rough driving.
Yes, I believe, yeah, I think you're right. Heard that. 8 laps to go. Green flag is out. Let's see what Stasilla has for Lynn and Book going into turn number 1.
Lynn trying to hunt down that 19 machine of Adam Stasilla. All over the rear end of that 19 machine, or 18 rather.
Stasilla is going to lead him going down the backstretch, but Lynn isn't too far behind. So with Book, but Lynn is now going to try to make some moves there for first place. Lynn shooting down to the inside, still doesn't have it yet. Stasilla's playing some really tough defense here. We'll see if Lynn has anything to challenge it.
5 laps left to go for Adam Stasilla out in front. Isabella Lynn and Cameron Book the top 3.
Yeah, no, Lynn, Stasilla is playing some tough defense there, and Lynn just can't seem to get a break there. Now Book will try to make some moves, but they're all, I could really say, playing hardball here. Not a lot of words to put it properly there.
Isabella Lynn trying to track down that 18 machine, shoots down to the inside. Looks to make something happen. They're side by side going down the backstretch.
They get rough going into turn number 2, and now going into turn number 4. Isabella Lynn's your new leader for one more lap around. Let's see if Stasilla can take it back. He's going to shoot down to that inside, and they're side by side. Oh, they make contact.
Some flew off the cart there, but Isabella Lynn gets turned there by Cameron Book. I believe, looked like either Bailey Salt or Jesse McDonald took that home.
They all got roughed up there and on the backstretch, and then they got roughed up again. Whew. Course, back on the air, had to put everything under review. Somebody, of course, definitely not too happy. But your winner, Jesse McDonald, for this race, and he's going to be talking with Carter Long right now about what's going on. Definitely a super interesting finish, and it looked like Lynn made contact. Here's the replay for the final lap here. Yes, Cecilla and Lynn make contact going down the backstretch, take something off of Lynn's car, and now Book shoots down to the inside and then almost looks like he dumps Lynn, but he seems like he was mad there. So a lot of drama going on for this regular Thursday night racing, so that was interesting. And then somebody isn't too happy, but I don't know what we can do, pal. We're just the announcers, so anyway.
Sure, Jesse McDonald's ecstatic, but
You could see him there. I mean, as soon as he crossed that checker line, it was arms in the air. He was definitely happy about that. I don't even know if he saw what happened, or if he did, he definitely knew that he could use that to his advantage. So, wow. Now, I don't know if it's possible that I'd like to see that replay again, but anyway, it looked like from what I saw on the replay there that, okay, here it is. So Cecilla and Lynn make contact, take something off of Lynn's car, and then Book goes down the inside, and then they make contact, dump, and then Jesse McDonald takes the win. So that was interesting, Aaron. Thank you, Spencer. Anyway, it's time for the junior flat feature. 4 karts, 15 laps. It's time for the starting lineup as the white flag is out. Starting first in the 29, it's Nolan Kretz. And starting second in the 49, it's Wyatt Smith. Starting third in the 25, it's Ethan Smith. And starting fourth and rounding out the field in the 88, it's Rowan Reed. It's time to go racing for these powerhouse 4 here. Green flags out for Nolan Kretz and Wyatt Smith, and they instantly blast off from the pack and shoot down into turn number 1.
Smith looking to track down Nolan Kretz, who's out in front. See if he has something for him.
Yeah, nothing really to challenge Nolan Kretz. I mean, Wyatt Smith kind of falling back a little bit, but they're both super fast, so anything could happen here. But it looks like Nolan Kretz has got this race in the bag already, and he is just flying. Single file out on the track right now. Nolan Kretz continuing to widen his lead here on that 49 of Wyatt Smith, and Wyatt Smith will continue to widen his lead there on the 25 of Ethan Smith.
Good gaps between everybody. They're all in a little bit of a safe space right now.
Oh, yeah. Definitely won't be long now until Nolan Kretz and that green 29 machine will start to hit some lap traffic now. But let's see if Wyatt Smith can catch his pace here and catch up to that 29 Nolan Kretz, but hasn't been able to do much with that 29. In the heat races, he had something, but it seems like when the track slicked out, Nolan is absolutely flying tonight.
Yeah, with the slicker tracks, having a smaller motor helps for sure. I don't know what the case is with these motors, but having a smaller motor definitely helps with wheel spin and all that ordeal. So
definitely halfway to go now as Nolan Kretz will start to hit some lap traffic soon on that 88 of Rowan Reed. Of course, Wyatt Smith still can't catch up. Now maybe the lap traffic will slow Kretz down, allowing for Smith to catch up. See it, he'll finally start to catch up to the lap traffic. He'll go on that outside line, and he'll pass by with no issues at all, and he'll keep flying down the backstretch. 5 to go.
I believe it's 4 laps left to go for Nolan Kretz out in front. Wyatt Smith out on the camera right now. He's flying in that 49 machine.
Yeah, flying, but clearly he isn't fast enough to catch up to that Nolan Kretz. He's almost got a full straightaway lead here. He'll bring him to the 2 to go. 2 more to go for that 29. As he'll now try to work on 3rd place, Ethan Smith, bringing him to the white flag. 1 more time around for your leader, Nolan Kretz on that 29.
Kretz down the backstretch for the final time. He'll go into 3 and 4 and take the double checkered flags.
There we go. That will do it for the junior flat feature race. Nolan Kretz will take it home in a dominant victory, and now it's time for the top cheddar. Of course, can't get too excited though. We still got to finish with this race. Nolan Kretz is going to pull it down into victory lane. He'll get the checkered flag and his victory lane photos taken by Carter.
Well, your dad has something to say about us calling it the top cheddar here in the chat. It says Mac and Jack sounds like top cheddar macaroni and cheese to me. So that's from yours truly, Clinton Jeffrey. And
the Micro Sprint production group chat is interesting, to say the least. But of course, the top cheddar getting lined up right now. But let me tell you, I'm on the... I can't say edge of my seat because we don't have seats. Not like we need them, but I don't know. What am I supposed to say now? Anyway, here they are pushing out on the track, and it's time for the final feature race of the night. The open micro sprints are getting pushed onto the track right now. I don't know if you're excited, but I can tell you one thing. We are. It's time for the starting lineup.
starting on the pole for this one in the 96, that's Brennan Haggard, and his outside. The 24K, that's Guyana Teal. Rolling off third in the 770, that's Cameron Olm. And his outside in the 88, that's Riley Mercer. Rolling off fifth in the 13, that's Race McConnell. And his outside in the 16, that's Campbell Baker. Rolling off seventh in the 9H, it's the Hurricane Hayden Nanakoke. And his outside in the 7S, that's Sebastian Palace. Rounding out the field in the 0J, it's the Iceman, Johnny Miller.
There you go. My bad if I said that a little bit too early for you, but Race McConnell finally getting pushed onto the track now. And they're going to get everything bunched up and sorted out. My pick tonight, I would have to say either Cameron Olm or Kiana Teal.
I think Teal's gonna, that's my pick for this one. I think she's gonna be coming off the momentum of last week's feature win, and she's gonna put it on full force here tonight.
Yeah, I could understand that. You did say that earlier that Kiana Teal was going to be really good, and of course that's why she's starting so high. So going to be interesting to see, but I think Cameron Ohm's got something for him, or for her, I should say. White flag is out one more time around for Brennan Hagar in first there. Going down the back stretch, the anticipation.
Brennan Hager and Kiana Teal on the front row. This is the Cool Kids Ice and Water Open Micro Sprints. Green flag is out.
Brennan Hagar is going to blast on the inside, but here comes Kiana Teal there, side by side, going down the backstretch. Kiana Teal now takes the lead going into turn number 4.
Brennan Hager working that inside line on Kiana Teal. Teal moves out to that first spot going down the backstretch.
They start to single file out there, but Riley Mercer's running on that high side right behind Kiana Teal, though. Still doesn't seem to be working for him, as he's going to be challenging for second place now. Brennan Hagar there going down the backstretch and into turn number 3 and 4.
3 wide there down the front stretch. Olm on that bottom side on Brennan Hager. Looks to make a move down the backstretch into corner number 3.
Hagar and Olm leave Mercer in the dust, and now Olm will take second place. Now he's got a lot of distance to go if he wants to catch up to that 24K Kiana Teal. She is on fire right now.
Cameron Olm now sitting in second. Brennan Hager in third. Riley Mercer and Race McConnell, the top 5 at the moment. Kiana Teal's got a good size gap over the 770 Cameron Olm. Bet she's liking that one.
Oh yeah, it seems like Cameron Olm will try and catch up some speed on the straightaways, but as soon as she hits the turn, she is gone. Cameron Olm still can't catch up there. Single file out to about, I believe that is 5th place there, where there's Campbell Baker and Race McConnell are duking it out for some spots now.
Kiana Teal hitting some lap traffic now. Slices by Palace with ease. Cameron Olm still sitting in second, and Brennan Hager in third.
Kiana Teal's going to work on passing Nanakoke now. She'll take it to the halfway mark. We're 10 up, 10 to go here for the final feature race of the night. Cameron Olm still can't seem to catch up, and it looks like Sebastian Palace goes for a bit of a spin, and now Cameron Olm will go for a bit of a spin.
That'll bring out the yellow flag just to see how much of a gap Kiana Teal had. It was up to a second, about a second gap there over Cameron Olm, which is a good sized gap.
Oh, especially on this track, second gap? Oh yeah, massive. But, wow, she really started ascending there, and yeah, you're right. definitely got a lot of momentum, especially from last week.
If you're not big into racing, you might think a second isn't a lot, but in racing it is.
Oh, yeah.
It makes the big difference, and just seeing how big that gap was and saying, oh, it's only a second gap. No, it's huge.
Oh, of course. Especially on a track as small as this, a second is massive. Cameron Ohm getting sent to the back as the white flag is out.
Bit of a heartbreaker for him. He was running second there, but he'll have to take it to the tail of the field.
Yeah, running on the top side and now going to the back. Let's see if he can regain a couple spots. Green flag is out for Kiana Teal, and she'll blast off down into turn number 1 with a massive lead, but here comes Riley Mercer in second place.
Riley Mercer ripping the cushion here tonight. Brennan Hager on the bottom side, trying to get his spot back.
Yeah, Mercer's given the top send, and here comes Brennan Hager there on that inside line. That top side definitely seems to be working there for Kiana Teal and Riley Mercer there. Of course, Riley Mercer's way out there though, but Kiana Teal will continue to hold on her lead as here comes Brennan Hager, and they're duking it out for second place.
Hager giving everything he has to the bottom of Riley Mercer, but can't make much happen with it. Mercer is flying in that 88 machine.
Yeah, nobody can catch up to Riley Mercer, but Kiana Teal continuing to hold out that massive gap to the rest of the field. She's going to continue to send it down the back straightaway as the laps keep winding down. It's about 4 to go now.
Kiana Teal already gained that second gap between Riley Mercer there, and that is definitely astounding for her.
Yeah, Kiana Teal's got a lot of the gap here. Now's the time for Riley Mercer to try to make a move to take that lead. Doesn't seem like he has it though, but Kiana Teal slows up a little bit, allowing for Mercer to catch some speed. It's 2 to go now, and if he wants to make a move, he's got to do it now.
And the white flag gets the 24K of Kiana Teal, having a little bit of trouble there getting past Hayden Nanico in the 9H. Down the back stretch for the final time in the Dixieland Girls 24K. It's Kiana Teal picks up feature race win here at Ohsweken Speedway. In second, Riley Mercer, and Brennan Hager will round out the top 3.
Yeah, from the moment that checkered flag was dropped, she shot up to first place and she held on to it for the rest of the race. She was absolutely dominant tonight in that race. So super interesting, and another repeat winner tonight. So what are your final thoughts before we go on to interviews?
That was a great night of racing. I love that race.
I know.
Kiana Teal was dominant throughout that whole open micro sprint race, and it's good to see her get a second feature race win. So
definitely some back-to-back wins for her now, and going to be riding on a high going to next week's show. Get on top of the wing there and get the picture taken by Carter Long.
Guess we could. You're gonna have to sit tight for a little bit. We're gonna get some interviews rolling, but.
Gonna wait for everybody to just kind of clear out of the way first. But we'll be back with some interviews shortly here on GeForce TV.
Here with Jesse McDonald of the 88 Flat Cart. What a surprise it was to win that feature race. How was that?
It was pretty wild. All I seen was carts and parts flying, and I just said to myself, don't lift and maybe drive through it. And it worked, so here we are.
And how fun is it to race with Nicholas Boyd? I know you guys are, I believe that is your girlfriend's son or something like that?
Yeah, my stepson. Yeah.
Is it fun to race with him?
Yeah, it's really fun to race with my stepson. Good family time, and he's slowly doing better. And you know, he's never raced anything before. And I told him this is the foundation of racing are these flat carts because it teaches you to be smooth. And if you want to race big cars one day, this will really help you. So he's doing really good.
Awesome. That was Jesse McDonald of the 88 Flat Cart.
Here with our second Victory Lane interview for the night, Austin Seaburn. So Austin, talk about your night. Pretty successful for you, but what do you have to say about it?
The first heat wasn't great. We missed practice, so it put us right at tail over there. Kind of unfair, but it was whatever. Heat 2, we finished second, barely photo finish. Awesome night. Competition was great. It was just beautiful.
Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight?
I just want to thank Right Choice Auto Sales and Leisure, D&D, Northern Corvette, Welland Chev.
Alrighty, and that'll do it for our Victory Lane interviews. Anything else you don't want to say?
My mom and my dad have been saying not to put your hands in your pocket. So what am I supposed to do with them?
I'll tell you what you're going to do with your hands. You can go pack up your microsmith there, but have a good night, and I'll see you next week. That'll do it for Victory Lane interviews for tonight, so we'll send it back to McLean to send us off for tonight. I'm Jackson Jeffrey, and I'll see you all next Thursday.
Thank you all for tuning in to watch this Thursday night racing. On behalf of all the Stars family, all of the crew here at Ohsweken Speedway, and on behalf of Jackson Jeffrey, I'm McLean Callan saying so long. We'll see you all next Thursday night.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.